Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a review from the Wants palette. This was by Makeup Revolution in collaboration with Emily Noel, who is a fantastic YouTuber. I will link her channel down below, although like the 5 people that watch me, I'm pretty sure are from her channel, so you know how to find her. But I am going to do some swatches and give a very honest opinion on what I think about the palette, how it performed, and if it's worth your $20. So stay tuned. This is probably going to be the most serious video I have ever done.
Holy bananas.
So I'll start by warning you, I have a really bad scar on my wrist. I have a tumor in my arm. Still in there, causing me troubles, but didn't want to scare y'all. So, yes, she's there. I can't use my other arm because it has a giant tattoo on it. So, this will be my arm for the swatches. So, the reason I'm going to swatch these is because I swatched these initially and had some kind of odd feelings about it. And I played with the palette just a little bit. And between the swatches and playing with the palette, I did learn some things, and these are things that you can definitely take from swatches, and you will see what I'm talking about here, hopefully. So I'm going to start at the very top row with cream. Next is Hobby. Prayer. I'm giving these a really good swirl. Kind of double roll here. This is Grateful. Okay. This is Good Vibes. Side Hustle. Midwest, Dues Paid. So as you can probably see a little bit, these are pretty powdery, and Makeup Revolution in general is pretty powdery. I have a couple of their palettes that I've created some pretty cute looks with, but they all create fallout. I know with Makeup Revolution, eyeshadows, I will always use a primer and I will never do my foundation first. If that's not your vibe, then you may just never be able to find a Makeup Revolution palette that you enjoy. We have Eye Rose, which I just can't get a ton from. I've tried to scrape that too. Belle Violet. I would probably use these more as a topper or an inner corner highlight. Capricorn. Fifi. You can see that's pretty patchy and powdery. So we have Oh Heavens with a little bit of cat hair, you know. Love Tons. One's kind of rough as far as swatching is concerned. Pizzazz, Family, we have Top Story, Apartment, Cupcake, Laugh, Cry, we have Cheer, just kind of disappearing on me a little bit, Heartbeat, better swatch. It's really sticking to my finger. corduroy. And dark and early. And that is all of the swatches from the palette. Now, from what I could tell, especially from having done both swatched it and used it, but what I can immediately tell from a swatch is that I'm going to have to use an eye primer. Cat hair. And I'm going to have to pack on the color that I want, where I want it, and I'm going to have to gently diffuse it out. So I'm gonna prime my eyes in 2 different ways, just to try to see how these eyeshadows play. The first time I played with them, I used my standard, which is P. Louise, which I know not everybody has, believes in, or is going to obtain. So I want to show you on one eye with P. Louise and one eye with actually Makeup Revolution's concealer. So on my left eye, I have the P. Louise base. And this eye, I have the Makeup Revolution. And I look insane. My lights are freaking blinding me, and yet I still don't look good. So I think I'm actually going to go in for those tougher shades that I swatched that didn't necessarily come out so great, and see if the techniques that I was talking about will work a little bit better. Now, when I played with it, I stuck mostly to Laugh Cry, a little bit of Love's Tons, Cheers, and then I did a look with corduroy and dark and early. Corduroy actually worked pretty well. You really had to pack it on though, and then diffuse it, pack it on and diffuse it. So I think I'm gonna do a bit of a cut crease, and I'm gonna start by putting Prayer kind of all over. Now I don't set my concealer or my P. Louise. To me it seems pointless why I put something tacky down and then cover it in powder. And because right now I'm kind of just using this as a very dramatic transition color, I am not really packing on the color. I am going straight for trying to diffuse it out closer to my brow bone. Same technique, I'm just gonna put a little bit on, tap off the excess. Now, what you'll immediately find with P. Louise, if you've never used it before, is it's a little frightening sometimes. The colors will really grab onto the primer, and then you kind of have to work a bit to spread them out. But it's nice when you really want a dramatic look or you're working with dark pigment, because it'll grab that pigment on. Now, because I'm always giving everyone the eyebrow, I swear this side has way more space, so it requires more love. But interestingly enough, already I can tell that it's actually kind of showing up darker on the Makeup Revolution side. But it is so much smoother in pigment on the P. Louise side. Next, I'm gonna go into, I actually wanna go into Laugh Cry. I'm gonna use a similar technique. And I wanna put that closer to my inner corner. I'm gonna brighten that up quite a bit. Because these are so powdery, what I'm trying to do is pat the pigment on where I want it and then diffuse it out. And I don't like the Makeup Revolution concealer as concealer, but I think I might have found a better use for it. I'm kind of impressed by its performance as a primer. But we'll see when we get to the real crazy colors. And using that same brush, I am going to go into, let's see here, Love Tons. Coating my brush, tapping it off, and then packing the pigment on. Now I'm going to go into Cheers again with the same brush since we're kind of doing a fade out here. Now, my only issue with this color is it is so similar to the other color. It looks very different in the pan, but on application, as you can see, next to each other, it almost makes one look patchy, when really it's just that they're just not very different. So I'm gonna have to remedy that for sure. I'm gonna go back into Love Tons, just a little bit of it, and try to kind of make that look even compared to that other color. I think I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with Fifi, which was one of the worst swatches of the bunch. And this is definitely one of those where you just gotta put it where you want it. I'm going to go back into Laugh Cry and kind of buff that outwards. Just taking the leftover of the Fifi, trying to make that purple a little bit more
Smooth.
because it's not quite yet, but I think it's doable. So I think if there's a takeaway from this so far is Cheer and Dues Paid, probably not best together. Probably best in separate looks because they are quite similar. And so now that I look completely crazy, I'm going to cut my crease. I'm going to use P. Louise to cut my crease on this side and the Makeup Revolution concealer on this side. I forget to blink during this part, and my eyes start to profuse water. So the reason I like to use this P. Louise for cutting my crease is that I don't have as much trouble when I do look up if I don't want to do a super full dramatic cut crease, because that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen when I use like Tarte Shape Tape or something like that. As soon as I look up, it transfers, and then I'm stuck with doing a over-exaggerated cut crease. And I'm gonna set that like very gently with the cream. So while I'm working on the other eye, it doesn't get messy. And now I'm gonna use this concealer to cut my crease. Runny yet sticky. If y'all ever done that with your cut crease, you like start and it's going well, and then you do the other eye and it gets real dramatic, and then each one just creeps higher and higher until you just have a white lid again. Yes, contradictory, but I do not want this to get everywhere, so I am setting it. So I'm gonna go back into Fifi and quickly dust that on that outer edge to clean that up. It seems to be going over that concealer okay. My mom ordered an Instapot cookbook apparently, because I just got the delivery notification. Man, I kind of wish I went a little more dramatic with this crease. Of course I do. Of course you do. Never happy with what you got. I think that's mostly because I went a little cray-cray with the colors.
Fine, we'll work it out.
Now I'm going to do a pretty light shimmer because dramatics, you know? So I'm going into Cupcake. You know, I'm going to use this little tiny, it's meant for eyeliner, but I'm going to try it with a brush first, even though I wouldn't normally do that. I just use my finger, you know? No, I'm going to clean that edge up. I don't like that. Just cleaning this up a little bit, and that's really the concealer, not the shadow, that's doing anything wrong. And yeah, I'm just gonna use my finger on this Cupcake here and go to town. And that's really smooth. There's a couple in there that I didn't love, but they're just not gonna go with this look, so. And I'm gonna take Heartbeat, which is also a shimmer, and use my finger right there. And that was one I had a really hard time with swatching, and I'm just not getting a whole lot going on. I'm digging my finger in it now. Now I have too much. But we'll try and see if I broke the seal. Yeah, that's not my favorite, that's for sure. Actually taking some Love Tons now and kind of going over that. I do not like that shimmer. taking this smaller brush with Cupcake and blending that together. I feel like I should have brought the crease up a little bit more. All right, so I'm gonna go on a total tangent here because I just can't help myself. But I got a bunch of these Makeup Revolution Flawless Foils and I wanna try one. This one is in the color Rebound and I'm gonna first try it. It's not dry, it in and of itself is kind of wet. So I'm gonna try that first with just my finger. It came with like a glue, but that seems insane. So, you know. So I did the other eye off camera because I got a phone call and had to take it. So I multitasked. However, here they are. Here that is. Hello, Chewbacca. Go lay down. Hi. So these are kind of awesome. I will say it's giving me a little bit of the testicle eyes, but anything like this does. It's got a really cool texture. And I think I'm going to do a video with the rest of these that I bought. Stay tuned. So I'm going to take a clean brush now and kind of fluff out this upper edge. Now this is kind of my fault. I feel like I should have, with how dramatically I went with these colors, that I probably should have done my cut crease a little bit higher. So, but as you can see, good and bad thing, the color kind of buffs away pretty easy. So I will wear these for a bit too and let you know how they last. I'm not gonna do my eyebrow or anything until I do the rest of my face. So I'm gonna pop off camera and do the rest of my face and come back and we will finish up the eyes and see what it looks like. All right, so it's like an hour later. I had a pest control guy come because there's something in my attic. So yeah. Anyway, I finished up my base and we're gonna finish off the eyes. And I'm gonna take the tiniest bit of cheer on the outer edge, and it got a little out of control. Of course. I have these wrinkles over there that just like grab. I either try to hide them or stay away. I did neither. I'm gonna take this flat brush here and go into Apartment and get that really close to my lash line. And then just a little bit of Oh Heavens right here to smooth all that out. Though I'm not getting a ton I'm not getting a ton from it. I'm gonna go back into this. Get the tiniest bit on the tip of this brush. I lied. I have to dig into it. I'm not really getting anything. Oh, except for junk in my eye. Good job. Try this brush. Yeah, this stuff just really does not pick up on a brush. All right, liner and mascara, and then we can talk about what I am thinking about this palette. I guess I should do my brow bone too. Yeah. I'm gonna use a little bit of cream, the cream, just because my eyebrows are a bit messy and I'm not sure putting something super bright on it is a great idea. mascara time. All right, guys, so this is the final look. I like it. I think it's really pretty. I almost kind of wish I didn't use this because I think this is super stunning and an excellent, what would you say, highlight or co-partner for this palette. It's also a Makeup Revolution, and I got these for $2. I'm gonna bust myself out here. $2. I got a ton of them. But, so if you get a little closer, you know, it's funny, this side is actually quite a bit deeper, and this side I thought it was a little bit smoother, but I might be wrong, you know? I know for sure with like my James Charles palette, that one performs so much better with the P. Louise. I have tried both side by side. Hands down, P. Louise, like he said, eyeshadow primer, specifically, not a concealer, 100%. I think with this palette, you'd be fine either way. I don't ever recommend setting your concealer, but that's everybody's own thing. You get 24 shadows for $20. 24 shadows for $20. I want you to stop and think about that right now. I'm gonna do the calculation. So that is 0.83, so 83 cents per shadow in this. And I'm someone that has bought Urban Decay shadows for $10 a pop, okay? So,
manage your expectations.
Famous, horrible line of the century. I think people expected, because an influencer who has great taste and does great makeup would release some amazing palette. And I think she did. It was $20. And yes, not all the shades perform exactly how you'd want, especially looking at them in the pan. So my recommendation is like I did. You swatch them and you see how they feel and how they look. There's a couple in here, like I said, that just are pretty much toppers that need to really be treated as toppers. They're very sheer, duochrome, have a really pretty reflex, but they are not standalone unless you would just want to do a really bold cut crease with a little bit of this just kind of tapped on top. The other thing is, yes, they don't all look exactly how they look in the pan, and they do require a little bit of finesse, but that is all of Makeup Revolution. I have used them before, and I talked about them in another video. They have fallout. This one actually did not in the technique that I used. I didn't have anything to clean up, which was really nice, because normally I use makeup wipes, I have to clean up, I have to cut my edge out. So I think the way to go about this palette is to try out your colors before, maybe on your hand or your wrist, kind of see the scheme you're going for, and then put the color where you want it, pack it, and then lightly blend it out. Don't go too crazy or it may kind of brush away. And I will wear this for a few hours and kind of check in and see how it's wearing. Yep, I am just straight up laying down and doing this check-in. I'm exhausted. I have been kind of crackhead cleaning. There is something alive in my wall and it's scratching and I can't get it out. I had a pest guy come today and he couldn't find it either, but he found signs of life. So he found a hole in my egress, so he patched that up so nothing could get in or out. Hoped that it wouldn't start, but it started scratching again. It just makes me feel dirty. So I went to town, but here's my eyeballs. This shadow here is transferring, but I don't really care. I think it's pretty, and quite frankly, my eyeballs hang right over it, so what does it really matter? But from far away, I think they're still really pretty. I don't know. I mean, just, it's a $20 palette, and you can get some really cool looks out of it. I think I would personally probably use it to do more subtle on the lid type of glam, and maybe not such dramatic types of looks. But as you can see, it's you can still do it and it still looks very pretty. So there you go. Good night. So while I'm stuck, yeah, perks of the job. I just wanted to come on real quick, and I tried a new liquid lipstick. It was a hot mess. And show you this eye look I did, and it literally was like a 5-minute, 5 a.m. type of deal. But I used prayer in my crease and corduroy on the outside, and the 2 green shimmer shades, I cannot remember what their names are, right towards the middle, and a little bit of corduroy and prayer right under my under eye. Seriously took like just a few minutes, and it came out really nice. It's not a glam look, it's just a really quick, going for a little bit of fun, out the door kind of look, and I like it. So here's another quick one. I used some of the finicky shades that really didn't even swatch super well, and I still got some good color off of them. Now, purples, blues, greens, those kind of colors are kind of notoriously difficult to formulate. So could she have gone easy and picked nothing but neutral, warm tone colors? Sure. And come out with a very boring palette? Sure. But I feel like this palette is so accessible by everybody. If you're someone like me that loves your Natasha Denona, loves your Pat McGrath, you have to balance them out. You have to realize what you're paying for. $20, $129. I expect this to be super easy. I expect it to be easy to blend, get what I pay for, and even there's a couple shadows in here that I have to play with a little bit. So for 20 bucks, if you're new to makeup or just really want to support Emily, if you're on a budget and you just need some really fun, different colors, I don't think there's anything wrong with this palette. If you buy it for one specific color, I could see someone be very disappointed if that color doesn't work exactly how it appears in the pan. That could be very disappointing. But I really don't ever buy a palette for one color for that reason. If you can accept that maybe 1 or 2 colors in here, maybe a couple more, don't work exactly how you want them to, you may really enjoy this palette and get some great looks at it for the price. 20 bucks, 83 cents a shadow. How often do you find that? But this is my humble opinion. You might have yours. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you're real crazy, hit the notification bell. I would love to see more of you guys. I would love for people to see more of me. I'm going to always try to be honest and remain truthful and reasonable.
Reasonable.
That is the big one, reasonable. So there you have it, my review on the Emily the Wants palette. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!